Hi everyone. Today video is on Hot Chocolate GraphQL subscriptions. So using the Hot Chocolate GraphQL subscriptions, we can create a channel like publisher and subscriber. So this can be helpful in automatic pushing notifications to the user or creating a chart application or like any kind of notification. Uh, these subscriptions are very helpful and handy. So coming to GraphQL Hot Chocolate, we mainly deals with the two main definitions like query and mutations, right? So subscriptions are definition in the GraphQL. Okay, so today we are going to do a small demo on it, how to publish some message and how to subscribe to that message. So we are going to do a sample. So before any going further, I want to mention that this entire session, what I'm going to explain, has been already made as a blog. So this blog link will be available in the description under the video. So if anyone want to check, you can click over the link. So let's briefly understand the how the publisher and subscribers will work, or GraphQL subscription will work. So if you observe this image, and one more thing, uh, this GraphQL subscription storage can be used like either in memory or Redis store, currently supporting these two. Okay, so in this video, I am targeting in memory only. I am going to create another video how to use the Redis for as a store in the GraphQL subscription. But this video is works with the application in memory. So if our application is single hosted application, then in memory uh, storage is enough. But if our application is a multi-hosted or multi-nodes server, then we must go to distributed storage like Redis. So I'm going to create another video how to integrate with Redis. Okay. So if you observe this image here, so in GraphQL, okay, publisher or event raiser. Here you can observe, right? So this is nothing but a mutation method. Instead of mutation method, we can raise an event like sending the some message, sending some data to the application storage. Okay, so that can be done with the event raiser in the mutation. So when the user sends something or an admin or a tool through tool uh, sending something, and instead of mutation, if you raise the event, the data will be stored into the application in memory later. So there will be a subscription or the event receiver or the event listener. Okay, so this what it will do, it will uh, grabs the data that was stored in the application memory, and from this subscription it will send the data to all its subscribers. See, all its subscribers, and so to receive this information from subscription to the all the subscribers, the connections should be persistent, means long-lived connection. So this communication from the subscriptions to the subscriber is taken care by the WebSockets. Okay, so it is not a normal HTTP call protocol. It is a WebSocket thing. So there will be a WebSocket channel will be established between the subscriber client and this subscription in our GraphQL endpoint. So this is how flow will work. Okay. So now what we will do, we will create a sample application. So let's begin by creating a .NET Web API application. I am targeting .NET 5 and I am using .NET CLI for creating the project. So if you are Visual Studio users, please make sure to have 2019 at most latest version, because in 2019 also version below 16 Visual Studio won't build .NET 5 application. Okay, so let me create a Web API application. So here you can observe the target framework is .NET 5. Okay. So first step is we need to install the Hot Chocolate GraphQL library. So let's install it. And if you want any beginner tutorial about GraphQL and also advanced topics like JWT, JWT token authentication in GraphQL, you can check my .NET playlist where I have already created few important topics on GraphQL. Okay, so this is the library Hot Chocolate ASP.NET Core. Okay, so Visual Studio users copy the command from package manager. Okay, I am going to copy the command from .NET CLI. Let's install it. So my hot chocolate library has been successfully installed. And now go to startup. Services.add GraphQL server. Okay, configure this server. Next, need to configure routing for GraphQL, that is endpoints.GraphQL endpoint. So by default, its route will be /GraphQL. If you want, you can override it here. So there is a overloaded map GraphQL method, but I am leaving default. Okay. Now, since I am going to use in-memory storage for my PubSub application, right? So we need to configure that as well. So here add in-memory subscription. See, from name itself, we can understand this in-memory service is used by the subscription of our GraphQL, okay, to store the information when the event raised, so that from that in-memory application, the subscribers can read the data every time, okay. Now what, and I have also mentioned, right, the subscription and the subscribers will maintain a channel that is not a normal ordinary HTTP. It should be a WebSocket because the connection should be long-lived connection with the client, so that server can push the latest data into the every client that are subscribed to our endpoint. So for that, we need to add a WebSocket on top of routing. Route middleware. Let's add WebSocket middleware. Okay, we use WebSockets. Okay, now I want to now my sample is I will have one mutation method there. I am going to uh, post some product data, so that in the inside mutation you can write logic like saving to some store like database or MongoDB, any kind of database, and also uh, send that same data to the, what I can say, send that same data to our application storage by uh, event raiser, so that subscriptions can read the recently added data in the application memory storage. So for that, first what we will do, we will create a model like products for my payload. So let's create folder like models, and inside of it, let's create product. Okay. So my sample product model looks like this. Now what I will do, I will create a subscriber first, then I will create a mutation, and inside of mutation, I will raise the event. So first, create the subscriber. So I have mentioned, uh, in GraphQL, two main common definitions are like, or commands are like query and mutation, and there is also third uh, command or definition, that is nothing but the subscription. Okay, so this is also one of the root type of the GraphQL. Okay, so for that, what I will do, create folder like core, and let's add uh, class like, okay, and one more thing, if you GraphQL can be done with three different approaches. One is schema, and another one is code first, and another one is pure code first. So by combining three also we can do, and this video will be entirely explained in pure code first. That gives you the advantage of not no need to learn much about the GraphQL types. Okay, everything framework will be automate. So this is our subscription object type. Now let's have a resolver in this method, that is nothing but the subscriber method. Okay. Okay, to make it subscriber method, we need to decorate it with a attribute like, okay, so we need to decorate with the subscribe attribute. Let's import the namespace. Okay, and to define the, you can have n number of different types of these subscription methods, right? So each will maintain like a channel. So they should be, each subscription method should be identified there by their own name between the event raiser or event receiver. Okay, so to make that uh, e- to make that channel name automatic, and so that event raiser can read directly this method name, we need to decorate with one more attribute like topic. Okay, this is also from hot chocolate. Okay, definition hot chocolate types only. Okay, okay, now the subscription must read data, right? Where once in mutation event raised and it is stored in application storage, then that data should be injected into our subscription, right? So that this subscription will throw the same message to all the subscriber clients. For that, we can get data like event message. Okay, this is directly from hot chocolate. So here we can directly specify our payload type. So my payload is nothing but product, right? So I am directly specifying that one. Okay. Now what I will do, I will simply return that product. That's it. This is my subscription method. So let's re-discuss about entire thing what we have up to now. I simply created one root query object for the subscription, that is subscription object type. Okay. In that we can have n number of resolver methods. Each resolver is a specific subscriber. So here my subscriber is product. Similarly, there will be another subscriber like order or many more. We can have the resolver method just like the mutations and queries. There is no difference while implementing them. Okay. So, but to make this as a subscriber, we need to decorate with the subscription. And the event generally raised from the iTopic event listener, so that it automatically reads the method name. To do that, we need to register with the topic attribute. Okay. And finally, to inject the payload data that was raised by the event and that was stored into the application memory storage, need to be injected into our method by decorating the event message attribute, and we can directly specify the type of our data. Okay, so simply I'm returning the product. So that much simple, creating the subscription method. Okay, now subscription is ready, but we need to create mutation, right? So let's create the mutation object. So go to core only and let's create. Before creating that, we need to register our subscription object type in the startup class. So for that, what I will do, go to startup, add subscription type. Here, I can specify my subscription type name. Use some namespace. Uh, let's import the namespace. Okay, now let's create the mutation method. So mutation method, similarly like subscription, mutation dot object type. This is my mutation objects type. So here I need to create a resolver method so that user can send the data, and that sended data you can store anywhere you want. And finally, at the end of the resolver method, we need to raise the event so that that data will be stored into our application memory storage, and that stored data can be retrieved by the subscription method. So let me create public string. I want to return just the added product name. So I'm simply returning the string and my add product, or you can name like it is a publisher, right? Because it will publish the data and this will be the subscriber. In that way, you can also name it product. Let me name it like a product publisher. Add and publish product. Okay. So this is my name, and it will send the payload like product. I can name it like product. This is my payload from the users. Okay. And now what I have to do, you can write your logic like write your logic like saving to some data store. Okay. After that, we need to raise the event, right? For that, we need to import one event sender, that is do service. This is from hot chocolate attribute decorated, and its type should be iTopic event sender. Okay, that's from the hot chocolate subscription namespace and event sender. So what I can do here, it is asynchronous event sender. So let's write async. Okay. Let's import some namespace and event sender dot send async, and first we have to define its name. Okay, so it is a iTopic sender, right? Event sender, right? So it can know the iTopic name. So for that, what we have to do means we simply use name of subscription type dot, what is my method name? Subscribe product. So it will, this method will grab the name of this method with the fully qualified namespace. And here, this is like a creating a channel name. Okay. And our payload, my payload, what is my payload? Directly product, I think. Yes, I can post it like this. Now I am simply returning the product name. Okay, so that's it. Only thing is, in the mutation we need to inject the iTopic event sender which raises the event. Nothing but this makes our method as a publisher, this iTopic event sender that loads from the hot chocolate subscription. Okay, so let's save it, and I think that's the needed logic. Now in the startup, let's register it. Okay, that's it. Our implementation is finished. We can run and test our application. But there is one thing. Our chocolate GraphQL library will fail. Okay, if we don't have a query type. Okay, our application can have only query types, and without subscription and mutation also works. But without query type, our application cannot start. If you try to run at this point of time also, it will throw the error that query object is missing, something like that. Error message will be thrown. So what I will do, I will create a dummy query type object which will do nothing. Okay, so that our application will up and run. So what I will do, create query object type .cs. Okay, so this is my some fake query object type. So let's register it in the startup. Okay, so that's all our implementation. Now we can test. So let's run our application. Okay, now navigate to GraphQL. So first thing is I want to create the publisher. Publisher will communicate with our mutation method. So this is my publisher. Okay, now what I will do, I will create, I will open another tab or another window. Okay, I'll open. Think like these are two clients. These will be two subscribers. Think like that. Okay. Now what I will do, let's frame the first what I can say, mutation type. Okay. So for mutation, okay. So what we will do, what is my mutation name? Resolver name, add publisher, right? So and its convention should be camel case. So first let should be small and like this. And it should pass some data, right? That means uh, we need to create a variable. That variable name is, I will like my product. Okay. Here I need to specify the type. Okay. Here what is the my payload type? Product, right? So on schema generation, how it will generate means product, since it is input, right? Input. Okay. Like this we need to specify. This is the GraphQL type. Schema will generate automatically. based on our C# type. Okay. So all these I have explained everything nicely in introduction videos. You can check over there. Now here, what is our variable name? Our variable name is product. So here I need to specify that variable name, and here I have to define that type. So we need to create a variable. So that for that here, if you click this toggle, and here you can find. So here I need to specify the parent row to this variable name with the double quotes. Okay, and now open. Now it should contains properties. What are those properties? Those properties are nothing but my products properties. Okay, so I want only name and cost. So what I will do like name. Okay, mangoes, and cost. See the naming case here, it is caps, right? But schema will only map with camel case. So first letter should be smaller. Now I can specify like 20. Okay, let's make decimal. Okay, this is how my mutation comments look like. Now I need to create the subscription comments. Okay, so for that what I will do, I will go here, treat like this is one of my subscriber. So for subscription, yes, we can do like this. And what is my resolver method name in subscription? So our subscription name is subscribe products, right? So let's add and small s. What it is returning? It is again returning product only. So I can specify what are the properties I need to fetch. So I will specify like name, I want cost, I want all. So created date. So all these I need to fetch. Just remove it. Here also no need. So just copy paste this and paste it over here. So these are like two users requesting or subscribing to my GraphQL application. Okay, first what we will do, we will run them. Okay, so let's click here, execute. See, I have told this is a continuous connection with the WebSocket. If you see, this is always loads. This is always loads. Means it is continuously listening to my server. Here also I will run. So my product got invalid value. I definitely need to send it here. Let me. Okay. So let's try again. See, it is result is saved, right? Now go to subscriber. See Apple, and let me change cost to some 10,000 like that. So it is pushed, and now go here. He stopped actually. Let's run again. So let's save again. So saved and check here 10,000. So subscriber like this it will work. Bus, right? Now bus, everything will be read here immediately. It will continuously read. So like this subscriptions actually works in .NET GraphQL. Okay. So that's it guys about the GraphQL subscriptions. I hope this video has delivered some useful information to you all. If you like my video, please do subscribe to my channel. We will meet you again, new videos. Until then, signing off.